Sometimes the biggest stories, they're hidden in the most unexpected places. Today, we're going to take a look at what seems like a totally normal text message exchange, but I'll show you how it's actually the very beginning of a modern-day digital investigation. It's a really fascinating look at community, a serious accusation, and the kind of power that can hide in just a couple of screenshots.
And that's a totally fair question, right? At first glance, you might think, not much. But trust me, buried inside these messages is a pretty compelling drama and a very clear strategy. So how about for the next few minutes, we all kind of become investigators? Let's see what we can dig up together.
All right, let's dive right in. So here it is. This is our source material. We've got two screenshots of a direct message conversation. And yeah, at first glance, it just looks like two people trying to organize a call with a cousin. Simple enough. But is it really that straightforward? I don't think so. Okay, so let's really start to break this down, because once you do, you'll see there is way more going on here than meets the eye. This is not just some friendly chat. No way. It's a conversation with let's call it a hidden agenda. So if you just skim it, the read is super simple, right? One person is asking where the other's cousin is from, they share a little bit of info, they try to set up a phone call. It feels like a totally normal logistical chat, the kind of thing you or I would text a friend. But believe me, that is just the tip of the iceberg. All right, so let's start peeling back that first layer. What we're really looking for are the specific words, the little phrases that just flip the entire context of this whole exchange on its head. The clues are kind of subtle, but once you spot them, you can't unsee them. And here it is. This is the exact moment everything changes. The line, "I have an idea. She scams so many people." Boom. Just like that, this goes from a simple, casual chat to something way, way more serious. This isn't about just catching up with family anymore. This is about building a case. Now, this next bit might seem like a tiny detail, but it adds this powerful layer of reality to the whole thing. Just mentioning Dudley's side, it grounds this whole accusation in a real, specific place. Suddenly, it's not just some vague online claim anymore. No, this is tied to an actual, real-world community. Okay, so let's just do a quick recap of what we've pieced together. We have a really serious allegation, a scam. We've got a specific geographical area, the Dudley side. We've got a clear, organized search for more victims. And we have a name connected to all of this, Ghazala Din. So we've got the what figured out. Now let's look at the how. How exactly are they planning to act on this? Because this, right here, is where the real story starts to unfold. This isn't just two people venting their frustrations. This is a call to action. Now this sentence, this is the absolute key to their entire plan. I mean, it just lays out the whole strategy right there in plain sight. Find one person, then use that person as a launchpad to connect with everybody else. It's a classic networking move, really, just for a very, very different purpose. So what they're doing here, you can actually break it down into a really clear 4-step process. Step 1. Identify. They find one person who might be a victim. Step 2, verify. They share the story to see if the experience matches up. 3, expand. This is crucial. They ask for referrals to find other victims. And finally, step 4, connect. They create a channel to bring everyone together and consolidate all that information. Pretty smart, right? So when you put all those pieces together, you start to realize what we're actually looking at here. This text exchange, it isn't just a chat. It's the very first step in a grassroots, digitally organized investigation. This is a community literally trying to piece together a story and gather evidence all on their own terms. And that brings us to the really big question, right? The so what? Why does a small interaction like this even matter? Well, because it's a perfect example of a much larger trend, of how communities are using technology to find their own answers and in their own way seek justice. What we're watching unfold here actually has a name. It's called crowdsourced justice. It's this powerful and, sometimes pretty complex phenomenon where a group of people all connected online basically work together to investigate something, share information, and expose what they see as wrongdoing. So you have to ask, why do people take matters into their own hands like this? A lot of the time, it comes down to a feeling that the official systems, they've failed them. When the proper channels seem too slow, or maybe they're just not listening, people will find their own ways to get answers and take back a little bit of control. So I guess I'll just leave you with this to think about. In our world today, where our communities are just as much digital as they are physical,
Are things like text messages and social media groups becoming the new neighborhood watch? Is this how we look out for each other now, one screenshot at a time?